The teacher told students to lie down and dream during exams. The better the item you dream of, the higher your score. And the entire internet broadcast the process of dreaming. Since this was the perspective of an invading void beast, people need to create powerful heroic spirits in their dreams to fight. When I dreamed of building the Chinese underworld, the eerie atmosphere made the audience tremble with fear. However, the examiner in charge of the proctors mocked him loudly. I've never heard of the underworld. It was all for show. It turned out that the Chinese culture in this world was missing. Myths like the heavenly court and the underworld represent things people do not know. I'm a transmigrator. He became the only person in the world who knew about Chinese culture. However, at that moment, an accident occurred during the Dreammaker's awakening ritual. Spiritual potential is S-level with a bit of compatibility. Witnessing the awakening of the crowd. Even the teacher twitched his eyelids. Could it be that he never dreams in daily life? My grandmother's compatibility when her sleep quality was poor was 5. The degree of compatibility with the dream directly determines how difficult it is to create it. The higher the fit. Upgrading the dream creation level is much easier. Having an S-class front shows my future potential is limitless. However, that very few of them fit in. It means I have to work harder than others. Only then can we reach the ideal height. This person seemed to be Sumu from Class 0 of Senior Grade 3. I heard he's also a dream maker, a top student who often scores full marks on basic knowledge exams. I only know what the point of doing problems is. The dream level couldn't be reached. All they could do was be killed by the starry sky beasts. The whispers around me didn't catch my attention. Because in my mind, suddenly an ancient, simple book appeared. Awakening is uniquely gifted for eternal China. When others see the Chinese myths or scenes you create in your dreams, when you feel shocked, you will gain a certain amount of elemental power. This power can be depleted through consumption. Used to raise your dream maker level, or create better dreams. After opening the book, I was surprised to discover the book actually records Chinese culture. It covers mythological figures like Pangu and Nuwa, historical emperors and Qiu all included. Okay, good. As long as you hold this ancient text, a bit less compatible is okay. When the time comes, they will create the content recorded in ancient China. Investiture of the gods, journey to the west, heavenly court, 3 realms, Pangu, Nuwa. Any one of these could withstand a mere starry sky beast without any problem. But before that, I have to deal with the Dream Maker joint exam in front of me first. His nature was similar to the college entrance exam in my previous life. The difference is that students connect to dreams through the Dream Network. Entering a space. DreamNet was created by an S-rank dream maker, and a super large dream covering the globe. Inside, dozens of cities created by dreams are hidden. As a unique venue for students to take exams together. Candidates are under the strict supervision of the examiners. A dream maker assessment is conducted here. Candidate Sumu's spiritual potential S. The compatibility of the dream maker, barely meeting the mechanical threshold for the assessment. Whether it is confirmed to enter the assessment. After confirmation, you will enter DreamNet to undergo Career Awakening and the Dream Maker joint exam for verification. My mind gradually became shrouded in mist. Sleepiness made me drift into sleep. Others who did not participate in the selection. With eyes full of regret, she watches my departing figure. After all, those candidates with 0 compatibility. In their view, it was almost equivalent to failure. After a brief silence, I was awakened in a dream by an aged voice. I immediately realized I was in a void. This is the testing area on DreamNet. So what will this year's assessment questions look like? Candidate Suma's ID number is 3484. Successful admission qualification verification. Meng Wang has officially generated my exam number. At the same time, candidates from different regions also connected to DreamNet one by one. Together they entered the DreamNet space to undergo the assessment. The unified exam for dream makers is conducted via live streaming. Spectators can observe each participant's performance in real time. Everything created by candidates in DreamNet can be seen by the outside world. I actually think this is better. When the time comes, I will create something through the ancient Huaxia. You'll definitely gain a lot of shock points. The Dream Maker's exam started on time. In an instant, tens of thousands of live stream rooms opened simultaneously. Everyone take a look. The one in the 123,456 live stream is my Zihan. This year we are sure to achieve good results. Many parents who hope their children will succeed. They all posted messages about their children on public channels. However, most people prefer to search candidates with outstanding talent. After all, this is the part of the talent that first excites the audience. The more outstanding the dreamer. In the future, his strength against void monsters will also be even greater. This way, ordinary people like them can receive better protection. Brothers, look, 123,456 live streaming rooms. This is definitely top-tier talent. In the picture was a stunningly beautiful girl, wearing a school uniform, his eyes lowered. They were fully awaiting the distribution of exam questions. Spectators outside could clearly see the attribute bar beside her. Name: Zhang Hongxiao. Current rating: F level. Mental potential surged. Extremely close to the S Dream Maker. Class compatibility: 89. My god, it's actually a talent at the level of the Shui family. I live so big. This is the first time I've seen such potential. The class fit was as high as 89. His cultivation speed from now on was simply unbelievable. This instantly widened the gap between his peers by several times. Oh my, this is my senior. At our school he's a god-level big shot. While everyone was still chatting endlessly in Zhang Hongxiao's livestream, a public comment caught the attention of most people. Shocking that this joint exam featured an S-level candidate. Everyone can watch in the 3438 livestream. There's even an S-class. In no time, a huge crowd flooded into my livestream like a tide. At that moment, I was sitting cross-legged on the ground, attempting to awaken a junior dream maker. Only now did he truly realize that the compatibility was only temporary. How troublesome. The progress of talent integration with the dream maker profession is truly a destination. But what people outside saw was when I awakened. Countless voids flashed around him. Some people saw a grand and imposing jade seal. It was engraved with the words, "Mandate from Heaven." The large character of Jisho Yongchang. Some people have also seen a waterfall. Below it stands a stone stele inscribed with an inscription. Flower Fruit Mountain, Blessed Land, Water Curtain Cave Heaven. Oh my god. What on earth is going on? Why is this candidate's style so different from others? Dig it out, are these the S-level candidates? The dream that just flashed through was just too shocking. The scene seen by the audience outside naturally resembled the ancient Huaxia, the external manifestation at my awakening. Due to a cultural gap in the dragon kingdom of this world, now naturally they found these things quite novel. These views are truly beautiful. But why is the giant in the picture always chasing that sun? Is there a comment on the chat to explain to me? Yes. I even saw a primitive man holding a bow and arrow aimed at 10 suns. I simply couldn't understand what the candidate was trying to express. Everyone chattered and discussed for a long time. It was only then that someone noticed the attribute panel next to me. Name: Sumu's spiritual potential. Career fit. What the heck? Countless viewers were stunned by this bizarre attribute panel. After confirming he wasn't mistaken, the livestream room instantly erupted in an uproar. This is too outrageous. You said he just sat here motionless. Could it still be in the awakening stage? It's really possible. After all, the class fit is so low. Awakening the dream maker profession is undoubtedly extremely difficult. Like him, he might not have awakened successfully even after the exam. Love is truly a pity. JS level spiritual potential. Countless words of regret flooded the screen where I couldn't see. Welcome to the Huaxia branch exam room on Dream Network. After 3 bell tolls, suddenly, an aged voice echoed from the horizon. This year's Global Dreammaker Unified Exam adopts a last-place elimination system. All candidates will take a 1-month dream-making exam on DreamNet. The exam is divided into 4 rounds. Some points are eliminated in each round. The candidate ranked last. The longer they survive on DreamNet, your joint exam scores will also be higher. The last survivor will represent their own country. Compete on the same stage as top colleges from other countries. Next, the first round of exam questions will be announced, World Dream Making. Candidates are requested to complete the process within 1 day, using spiritual power to create a dead world. After completing the creation, Manhwa directly gives the world rating. Every candidate is urged to take this seriously. After the reading, the candidates in every space immediately erupted in an uproar. Right from the start, they launched a large-scale dream creation. And it's a dead world. Every candidate present is in the prime of youth. How could they possibly know what the world of the dead is like? For a moment, many students in the exam district frowned. Of course, there are also some candidates with good imagination. He had his own ideas. However, none of this seemed to concern me. At this moment, I was still quietly awakening my dream maker profession. At the same time, immerse yourself in the grandeur of ancient China. He sat like this for most of the day. It's as if they don't care about exam deadlines at all. Within half a day, quite a few candidates had already submitted their papers. On the Manhwa leaderboard, they also started to keep updating the candidates' names. This drew gasps of amazement from the crowd. Hongxiao Dream Creation and Comprehension of the Starry Tomb received a B-level rating on DreamNet. Oh my god! This dream can actually reach B-level potential. Xinhe district examinees have a promising future. dreaming of the grave of dry bones. It greatly recreates the mountains of corpses and seas of blood on the battlefield. It also received a B rating from DreamNet. There was also another candidate from Xinhe District, Su Kuan. His dream-making object can recognize Chinese and Japanese characters. It is also grade B. Candidates from different exam regions in China submitted their own dream-making items. The live comments were filled with waves of amazement. After all, this was the moment the candidate awakened the dream maker. The first dream of creation. There was B-level potential right from the start. If only they had given them more time. That's fine. I unilaterally announce. This is the strongest dream maker in history. These B-level potential dreams are truly spectacular. If only someone could create a better dream. Tonight, I'm washing my hair while doing a handstand. More and more people are flooding into my live stream. Even though I sat there without moving. The potential of the S-Class still attracts countless people's attention, despite the ridiculously low compatibility. But the Jiang Hongtiao from that shop all received a B rating. My S-Class can still give them some anticipation. Finally, the ancient Chinese books in my mind shone with dazzling brilliance, completely merged with my consciousness. I also successfully completed the awakening of the dream maker. Oh no, finally I can answer the questions. After his consciousness withdrew from his mind, I breathed a long sigh of relief. He rubbed his sore shoulders. After a brief pause, I began to examine my attribute bar. Successfully awakened. Dream Maker's current level. F-rank Dream Maker professional ability. Dream creation consumes mental energy. Create any scene or creature you can imagine. The strength of the dream. It has no absolute connection to the current level. F-rank Dream Makers can also create S-rank dreams. The difference is that he doesn't have enough mental strength to sustain it. This year's topic is to create a dead world? I murmured softly. Then he glanced at the exam time. But surprisingly, 3/4 of the time had already passed. This damn awakening actually took me so long. Fortunately, I didn't panic because of it. After merging with the ancient Huaxia, I found that, as long as there is recorded content of Chinese culture, I can extract them directly from the books. No need to spend mental energy drafting and reconstructing. Other words, this will save you a lot of time. And unnecessary mental drain. The afterlife? I immediately thought of the most representative place in Chinese mythology. The underworld. It was a complete land of death. Inside are the gate of ghosts, the road to the underworld, and the bridge of helplessness. 十殿阎罗和18层地狱都在其中. The underworld of China is no less than anyone else's. At this moment a single thought comes to this. I began to gather and offer scenes from the underworld. Of course, with my current mental strength, a complete reproduction is naturally unrealistic. Even with 30 spirit points, it can only replicate part of the underworld scenes. But that was already enough. Moved. The people waiting in the live stream room were instantly overjoyed. Some people shook their heads helplessly. This means only 1/4 of the time remains. Even if it's an S-class potential, nor can it create a good scene. Of course, I couldn't see any of this. At this moment, the pages of ancient Chinese books are turning over. Soon, a pitch-black statue appeared. A floor sign engraved with the 18 evil spirits came into view. The 3 bold characters Gate of Ghost are written above, captivating and soul-stirring. Anyone who sees it. I am preparing to start from this very brink of death. Create the death dream in your own mind. Heh, it's time for the world to truly experience the heritage of China. As my thoughts surged, the entire dream-making space trembled instantly. A deep, dark ancient path slowly emerged beneath my feet, accompanied by swirling black mist. Ancient, weathered bluestone roads. Its outline gradually emerged from the black mist. As the scene gradually becomes real, a large number of viewers who stayed in my livestream immediately felt a chill in their hearts. Why is this guy's scene getting more and more eerie? They were just doing a bit of a miracle. The once dazzling scene suddenly turned into a chilling storm, sent chills down one's spine. Beside the bluestone road, enchanting red flowers bloom. In a flash, a grand gate with an ancient and profound aura rose from the ground. On the plaque, as if it were blood and rust, were engraved 3 unknown characters. It looks like classical Chinese. Again, it was a text they didn't recognize. Yet I do not know the reason. An unknown fog rose from the hearts of the audience. Let them blurt out the name of this mountain gate out loud. Hell's Gate. For a moment, many viewers showed expressions of fear and fear. It was as if a cold wind was blowing through their souls. I'm a good girl. The live chat exploded with comments at that moment. I knelt down. This is the desert here. This dream actually made me feel like I was blowing a cool breeze. Brothers, this is too divine. I just looked at that flower. I thought I was about to die. A bit impatient. Thinking about having a trip through the gates of hell. I felt the cabinet behind me moving. I'll slip away first. Viewers flooded the livestream room. My mind was flooded with a series of subtitles. Lu Xian's love for your creation. The incomplete version of the underworld was shocked. Harvest of Force 0.1. Lu Xiaojiang was shocked. Harvest primordial energy. People are constantly amazed by the underworld I have created. Values obtained by the Force are also rising at a visibly rapid pace. Just don't know why. Why are the values each person providing different? No time to worry about that. I continue to immerse myself in the creation of the underworld. When they reach the Gate of Ghost, the River of Forgetfulness, and the Bridge of Helplessness. When these three scenes were fully displayed, cold sweat was already breaking out on my forehead. It seemed his mental power was nearing its limit. After the world was created, it still needed to be sustained by one's own spiritual power. If you want to further improve the underworld, the previously built Yellow Springs Road and Naiha Bridge, these dreams will gradually fade away due to a lack of spiritual support. It's a pity. The underworld is only the tip of the iceberg now. I wonder how much this incomplete version of the underworld will give me. I used the remaining bit of spiritual power. After condensing a mass of black mist into a half-finished ox head, he submitted the dream to the authorities. The space immediately returned to its original state. Less than 3 minutes, the exam announcements, which had been gradually stopping refreshing, sounded again. Dream objects created by Sumu, candidates number 3, 4, 8, and 4. The underworld received an S-level rating reward, with a score of 100. After the broadcast ended, Sumu's name immediately shot to the top of the score leaderboard. In an instant, the whole room was in a daze. It actually had an S-level rating. This candidate is named Sumu. He actually created a death dream with S-level potential. If this dream is cultivated well, in the future it will surely become a powerful weapon on the void battlefield. You have to understand the dream students have for exams nowadays. It was an S-class dream creation. The candidates who took the exam with me were also alarmed. Everyone speculated about who this Sumu was, especially the few who ranked at the top. They can get a B rating on their very first creation. This is enough to show that they are the prodigies of their time. But how did a dark horse suddenly appear? It starts off with an S rating. Anyone would think this was just too much. A candidate with number 125. A faint shadow appeared on his face. Is this Sumu a scion of some prominent family? The first time he created an S-class dream. Was it just a chance encounter with the basic dream that he was good at? Damn it. The first place winner in every round of exams always gets rewards. Previously we were all B grade. Maybe we can split the fight evenly. He took all the rewards. Some candidates were also wide-eyed in disbelief. S-level dreamscape. Even Grandpa had to spend some time conceiving it before he could make it. How could this guy have done it in just one day? Outsiders, quickly ask the family's professional evaluators to experience it. If the underworld hasn't reached S-rank level, you really have to file a proper complaint. The exam girl called out to the void before her. In places she couldn't see, comments flooded in. Compared to candidates in a closed state, spectators wandering outside would find it much more convenient. 3484's livestream room was flooded with a large crowd of visitors. But now the dream has been submitted. In the scene, only I was left with my eyes closed to restore my mental strength. Many scenes can only be relayed through longtime viewers in the live room using loudspeakers. Xiang Yinsen wasn't looking at it anymore. Comments that feel like they're about to die. This left the newcomers stunned. It's really fake. The exam will end soon. Their works are meant to be shown. I want to see this so-called underworld. Is it really as sinister as you say? Many of those present were dream makers. Ordinary viewers can only watch the dream from outside. Creation is different. Those who have awakened the dreammaker profession can enter the dreamnet, experience firsthand the dreams created by the candidates. I also want to visit Underworld Bro, who recently awakened as a dream maker. Is there anyone with similar interests to form a group together? Let's go to the underworld together and experience it for ourselves. If you want to go, please give me a 1 and let me see. As expected, the comments were filled with comments about Koi. I watched my force value keep increasing. He was also overjoyed inside. From the time the underworld begins minting to submitting the score, my force points have accumulated to 200. He tried to channel this elemental energy into his own dream creator level. As the force value keeps decreasing, my depleted mental energy was gradually replenished. The fatigue faded away as well. He glanced again at his current dream maker level. Still F doesn't improve. But mental strength is capped at 30. Raised to 32. This visible improvement is truly impressive. Yuan Li himself could also keep stockpiling medicine. leveling up solely by relying solely on your own compatibility with the first level. How could we wait until the end of the day? On the other side, the examiner in charge of my area. I was also shocked by my results. In our area, there are still candidates who can create S-level dreams. The young man named Chun Dahan looked utterly incredulous. Dream Network is the dream creation of S-level big shots. Misjudgment is usually uncommon. But today's results seemed very strange to Chun Dahan. Generally, the examiner senses something is wrong. It must be reported to the chief examiner. But he felt he was capable of handling it. There's no need to trouble a dream maker with a B-level or above examiner. After all, the exam area is divided according to students' attributes. You can be assigned to his exam area. Naturally, it means the candidate's overall data isn't great. This S-level probably meant Manhwa misjudged. Upon awakening, he can create S-dreams. When he grows up, he'll be in chaos. Chun Dahan decided to personally experience the underworld. If only this dream could be at least level 1. He was submitting to the chief examiner. After all, as an Earth-level dream maker, he still had confidence in facing a newly awakened rookie Mengzu Wu. DreamNet has loaded the dreams of 3,484 candidates for me. The underworld descended with a loud sound. The space around Chun Dahan shook violently. Before long, he was teleported to the underworld scene. The first thing that caught my eye was a stretch of black mist. The cold bluestone path stretches from beneath your feet into the depths of darkness. Chun Dahan began to examine the scene before him. The corners of his mouth curled slightly. Class. That's it. Although the black mist before them was mixed with the sinister aura of wind, it really sends chills down your spine. But that's all. After all, he had once been to the void battlefield. He had seen plenty of cruelty between life and death. The current turmoil wasn't enough to make him lose his bones just like that. It seems this underworld is just empty talk. Just as contempt flashed in Chun Dahan's eyes. Suddenly, a loud shout came from behind. If one were already dead, why do you hesitate and not move? That sudden sound. Chun Dahan's hair stood on end. As soon as he turned around, he felt a black iron chain wrapped around his throat. The person he encountered was a monster with a minotaur's head and human body, shrouded in deathly aura. The ox-headed man held a chain, his face bluish-purple. He looked as if he were a soul-stealing, life-stealing eerie pose. It turned out to be a half-finished dream creature. Chun Dahan felt a jolt in his heart. A bad premonition surged straight into his heart. Originally, it was just a scene describing death. There was no danger. But once there are dream creatures, that's another matter. This candidate was actually completing the dream scene at the same time. He also used his extra mental power to create a dream creature. What kind of mental strength could achieve this? Chun Dahan's face changed dramatically. He quickly spoke up, wanting Manhwa to pause. But the black chains around his neck suddenly tightened. The minotaur pulled back forcefully. There was a loud thud. Chun Dahan felt his body suddenly feel lighter. It flew out along the minotaur's chains. At the same time, the chains burned with black smoke. A burning sensation that penetrates the soul. Chun Dahan's heart skipped a beat. Looking up again, he saw someone exactly like himself. He was standing dumbfounded in the spot in front of him. But he himself became a semi-transparent soul state. His soul had actually been torn out of his body by this minotaur-headed monster before him. Oh my god. This underworld is absolutely a real S-level potential dream. Chun Dahan's face instantly turned terrified. He hurriedly pulled out his hoarse voice. Help! King Meng Meng rescued him with nets. Before he could finish, Chun Dahan's terrified expression calmed down. Those thoughts about calling for help in their minds. It also vanished swiftly like quicksand. In the end, he was left with only one thought. I'm dead. Yes, I'm already dead. Hurry up and get moving. The minotaur scolded with its chain. He had been a bit puzzled at first. It vanished the moment Minotaur scolded him. He just walked toward the gates of hell with lifeless eyes. He kept muttering to himself, I am already dead with this sentence. In a daze, he passed through the gates of hell. They walked all the way to the banks of the Huaxia River. A strange sense of grievance rushed straight to Chun Dahan's heart. There was a strong urge to cry. A 3-story bridge spans the river. Under the bridge, countless gigu trees roared in the river. It was as if he had accidentally fallen off a bridge. You will become a member of this ghost valley in the river. The Minotaur stopped by the bridge. He even recited a poem. Bronze snakes and iron dogs compete for food at will. Forever falling, alas, with no way out. If you had committed any sins in life, you should walk down the bridge. If one lives a mediocre life, they will walk the middle bridge. If one does good deeds and accumulates virtue, one is a good person. Let's go up the bridge. With that, the iron chain around Chun Dahan's neck loosened. He couldn't help but walk over. The past flashes through like a fleeting glance. He awakened as soon as he reached adulthood. Dream maker admitted to a top university. 2 years later, he made some progress. Follow your mentor to fight in the void battlefield. And to end a giant beast in the starry sky. As the past keeps resurfacing, his previously confused thoughts began to recover. But somehow, he felt he could walk onto the bridge. At the same time, a strong thought was forced out. This prompted him to shout loudly toward the sky. "Old man, save me." The words fell. A certain restriction within Chun Dahan's body was broken. A beam of spiritual light shot out from his soul body, quickly integrated into the dream net. Dream maker inside the board office of a top university. A silver-haired old man was drinking. Suddenly, with a puff sound, he spat out the wine. "Oh no, my disciple is in trouble." Then, a golden figure appeared out of thin air in the underworld. Only then did they manage to pull Chun Dahan down from the Naiha bridge. "Woo, old man, you finally came. This student's dream is just too twisted. This underworld really has S-level potential. Look at you, so disappointing." The old man also began to observe the environment of the underworld. One can't help but marvel at this student's imagination, which has shook both ancient and modern times. There are even powerful dream creatures like minotaurs. If he weren't still taking exams inside the dream space, even if he wanted to suppress it, it would take considerable effort. Is this really something a newly awakened student can achieve? What they don't know is, this is actually completely recreated from ancient China. Ding Chun Dahan was extremely terrified by the incomplete version of your dream creation. The underworld. Yuanli added 25. Chun Fengqiu was shocked by the incomplete version of your creation underworld. Increases force by 500. Oh no, a big client has arrived. Watching his own force suddenly surge. I understood instantly. The amount of force you can gain. It is judged based on the strength of the person who was shocked. This person named Chun Fengqiu is truly impressive. It must be some important figure present. I didn't immediately use this force. Instead, it is kept in preparation for creating better dreams later. This is the first dream-making exam. It ended with the chief examiner being shocked. Next came the announcement of the exam results. Candidates scoring less than 30 points will be eliminated. Grade S, 100 points. Grade B, 80 points. And so on. My S-rank dream potential naturally comes with a reward of 100 points. Candidates ranked in the top 100 will also receive certain rewards. Moreover, the dreams created by the top 100 students were all placed within 3 days. Limited time opening. Interested dreamers can pay a certain amount of money to visit. Hearing this, I was instantly shaken. Dream Realm is open to the public. It will surely shock even more people. At that point, his force value would just skyrocket. As his thoughts flickered, another brand new special announcement has been published. Decided by the examination committee. Entry thresholds are set for the underworld dreams of successful candidates 3, 4, 8, and 4 who pass the exam sumo. This dream may cause psychological and intellectual harm. Only those with unwavering tenacity can venture deep. To ensure safety, only mental strength up to 300 points. Dream makers with a level of C or higher are eligible to observe. As soon as this notice was released, this caused another stir. The exam staff actually said so. This alone proves the value of my underworld. Although there are thresholds set. But after all, this is an S-level dream created by a candidate. For a time, many families began arranging for people to come and inspect. What awaits me is a considerable amount of force progression. For those who observe the underworld, the idea of replicating it. I'm not worried about this at all. For the dreamer, every dream comes from your own understanding. Even if the observers replicate the underworld one-to-one, the effects it releases are just copying the cat and tiger. Not even 1/10 of the original underworld. Before long, I received the first-place reward from the exam authorities. Dream creation of new fields. A dream heart that can be stored within the ocean of one's own consciousness. It also has the function of storing your own dream-making items. After reading this introduction, my eyes lit up. He had heard of this thing before. It is a dream-making prop created by a dream maker. It was essentially a small world. With this thing, I can place the underworld I have carefully crafted within it. No need to worry about dissipating without spiritual power to sustain it. Wait until you need it to take it out from inside. This is for low-level dream makers. Simply an artifact with this thing. This will be much easier in the upcoming rounds of testing. This made me look forward to the rewards ahead. As those eliminated left Dream Network in tears. This first round of testing has also come to an end. The next exam will be held 3 days later. When receiving the notes, I was full of questions about the exam content, because all of us will be sent to a place called Dream City. That is, during the 3 days before the exam. We will all live within the Dream City. And the details clearly state it. Only students with more than 30 points after 3 days can participate in the next round of the exam. Now, all students with fewer than 30 points have been eliminated. Clearly, there was a slight contradiction in these rules. In other words, it's very likely that we will spend points inside Dream City. Maybe this Dream City is also part of this exam. As I pondered, Zhou fell asleep again, shrouded in mist. Waking up again, I was already on the bus heading to Mengqing. Hey, stop sleeping. Dream City had arrived. Get up for me. A rough voice interrupted the student's sleep on the bus. Get off the bus. I still have to go pick up the next one. What's going on lately? So many people showed up all at once. I opened my eyes groggily. I found that everyone around me was just as confused as I was. Obviously, those were all candidates who had passed the first round of the test together. Some students couldn't stand the driver's rude shouting. He also complained a few times. When they saw clearly that the person standing before them was a burly man, a man with bronze skin and a fierce expression, each of them lowered their heads and pinched them down. But the man had no intention of letting them off so easily. He pointed at several people in a row and spoke. You guys will get 10 points for this fare. Others get 5 points for the fare. You must pay your points before getting off. As soon as these words came out, the audience was in an uproar. But even paying the fare costs 5 points. Sure enough, it was the same as I guessed. In this Dream City, everything depends on points, since taxis cost 5 points. Then after entering Dream City, the needs for food, clothing, housing, and transportation will likely only be higher. Some students on the bus who were crossing the line instantly collapsed. If he couldn't gather 30 points in 3 days, they didn't even qualify to enter the second exam. The driver impatiently glanced around the entire venue. 5 points still wouldn't cost you your lives. Get me off quickly. There is time for this complaint. It would be better to run to Dream City early to earn points. I count down to 5. No one gets up from their seat. Missing arms and broken legs and all that. I don't care at all. The students had no choice but to get off the bus in disappointment. Passing by the driver. With a look of regret, he racked up the corresponding points. I don't know what happened to my car. Over 100,000 candidates gathered. All face the issue of collecting tolls. This scene is being broadcast live to the outside world. Parents watching the live stream couldn't help but get nervous. When feeling melancholy, I saw someone making heated comments in the general chat channel. Guys, the candidates in the 3438 live stream are simply cheating. Why doesn't this Sumu have to be given to Luffy? These words shocked everyone. Wait a minute. Why does the name Sumu sound so familiar? When it was my turn to get off the bus, the driver who had been so fierce before, he immediately showed a kind smile. Brother, you've had a hard journey along the way. You should skip the travel expenses. Come on. That's 10 points. Consider it a gift from your brother to meet you. The live stream room witnessing this scene. The audience erupted in an uproar. It's not fair. Why should my Zihan have to pay 5 points? Does cheating have to be so obvious? Just as the audience was clamoring to report her, the following few barrage messages indeed silenced them. Jiang Hongxiao in Xinhe district also does not need to pay tolls. The driver gave him 5 points as a welcome gift. The same goes for me. It seems that the top 100 candidates in the Huaxia exam region all received 5 points. Only Sumu, who ranked first, gave 10 points. So he was Sumu, the top scorer in the entire volume. Someone entering my live stream for the first time suddenly understood. The higher-ups deserve this reward. Alright. If you're so capable, you should be in the top 100 too. Those who hadn't gotten off the bus yet immediately cast envious glances at me. Yet I frowned deeply. I felt a bit puzzled. Received this batch of points. I have to give up some cleverness. I enjoy talking to smart people like you. After the driver praised him, he pulled out a note from his pocket. Everything that needs to be said is already mentioned above. After reading, the choice is entirely yours. Of course, I believe you won't give up this chance to earn points. After listening, I took the note. After saying the statement, he hurriedly got out of the car. After all, with so many people paying tolls, I was the only one who got the reward. To avoid unnecessary trouble, I could only leave the scene quickly. Finally, I faintly heard the sound of candidates and drivers bargaining behind me. You talk a lot of nonsense. Exchange 10 points before getting off the bus. Just right to help me recover. The Dream City area is very cold. Many candidates kept rubbing their hands and exhausting their mental energy. He made a few clothes for himself. That's the benefit of being a dream maker, able to create dreams anytime, anywhere. As long as he maintained his mental power output, dream creation can suppress drama. Now, in reality, I mingled among the crowd, walking forward. Before long, the towering city walls of Dream City appeared. Everyone take a look. The city walls are written with the rules of Dream City. A student shouted in the crowd. Everyone looked up. On the city wall, several lines of ancient, simple characters were carved. Welcome to Dream City, candidates. You will survive in Dream City for 3 days. Earn more than 30 points. Only then will they qualify to advance to the next round of the exam. After entering Dream City, please be sure to follow the rules below. 1. Behaviors that violate safety and order are strictly prohibited inside Dream City. Violations will result in severe punishment from the enforcement team. 2. Candidates must not attack each other, unless you are on a specific occasion. 3. All actions exploiting loopholes to earn points will be treated as cheating. 4. Curfews are in place at night. Going out at will is prohibited. Those who don't follow the rules will be punished. 5. The above rules only apply to the first 4 rules during the day, which seem fairly normal. But what is this last item? I have a hunch. In the next 3 days, this Dream City probably won't be peaceful. If someone fights for points at night, I'm probably the most coveted number 1. Looks like I need to hurry and rebuild a new underworld. This time I promise it's a full version. Others go out late at night to burn, kill, and loot. My appearance late at night was terrifying. Harvesting the force shouldn't be a problem, right? I don't know if I understand the rules. The students with low scores around them immediately showed fear after understanding. This is over. I only have 30 points in total. If you don't earn enough points while working in Dream City, should I also become a bandit? I simply can't beat the top-ranked people. Damn. 3 days in Dream City. Could it be the second round of assessment? While everyone was discussing, suddenly, a student shouted, "Are there any candidates from Jiangzhou District? Here, find teammates from Jiangzhou District to form a team. Jiangzhou number 1 high school is the best. My mental potential is C level, compatibility is 66. Find 4 teammates of the same level to form a team." We survived these 3 days together. When the others heard this, his mind immediately became more active. With enough points, you can watch out for others together. Greatly improves survival chances, although the rules do not say this is allowed. But the absence of a ban proves there is room for maneuver. When that happens, someone might try to get up to it. You still have to consider whether your fist is big enough. Thus, groups of 3 to 5 groups gathered together at the gate of Dream City. Only a few people broke away from the gathered crowd and walked into the city. I had no intention of looking for teammates. With my current points, 3 days for dogs should be enough. If teaming up exposes the identity of the top player, that would be a bit of a loss than you gained. Just as I was about to leave the main group, a commotion came from the entrance of Dream City. We saw a group of trucks carrying food coming toward us. Braised chicken, braised duck, and fragrant skewers. All kinds of fragrant foods are brought out for sale. 5 lamb skewers per skewer. The small vendors all started hawking their goods. Before long, the entrance to Dream City became a snack street. Several students lacking self-control were already eager to try. The kids must be hungry. Fried noodles cost 1 cent per bowl. Do you need to eat enough to have strength? Upon hearing this, some students began to approach the various vendors. After all, we were going to stay in Dream City for 3 days. Points consumption is inevitable. Adding 1 point isn't much. Most of those present could still afford it. At worst, he could earn money by working in Dream City after entering the city. A group of people held this idea, have also started to spend. Of course, quite a few students resisted the temptation. He headed straight into the city. I observed the scene and began to ponder. I always felt these vendors were bait thrown by the exam authorities. The goal was to find a way to consume the chicken powder we had in our hands. Fortunately, I'm not hungry anymore. Ignoring the enticing aroma in the air, they also entered the city. There were also some signs along the way. Turn left from here and get 2 points per visit. There were also some middle-aged women wearing red armbands wandering around the city gate. He held up a sign. It says to litter. Each penalty is 2 points. Boy, so the original setup was set here. After the viewers in my livestream saw all this from my perspective, they teased one after another. If those who bought snacks later littered the garbage, these women managing the city will surely teach them how to be a good person. At this moment I was thinking much like theirs. But whatever they do in the future, it has nothing to do with me. After entering the city, a skinny boy darted out from my side. A fawning smile appeared on his face. "Can I help you?" Before he could get close, I stepped back and asked cautiously, "Brother, don't worry. I'm not here to trick you. Definitely a good thing." The boy pointed to a corner of the road. "Can we borrow a word for a moment? Could this be a special dialogue triggered because I have more points?" That's what I thought. Yet he remained vigilant. "Arrive at the designated spot. You can call me Little Snake. This is the guide. S-Talk only serves key clients with over 60 points. I can answer 3 everyday small questions. Bro, you just need to give me 5 points. For example, secrets related to accommodation. Or where can you earn more points? As long as I know, they will definitely answer questions they don't know. Even if it's a wasted opportunity. Of course, one of the 3 questions is not entirely true. This needs to be discerned by yourself. Every student only enjoys this treatment at the start. Bro, let's just see you again in the next few days. I wouldn't get such good treatment again. The boy named Little Snake couldn't wait to rub his hands. Bro, how about you have my little brother open a business?
植入百事通
5 points can raise 3 everyday questions. And this is a treatment you only get at the start. I didn't hesitate much. After nodding to him, he paid 5 points. If the Little Snake's words are true, then spending these points is definitely worth it. Got it, bro, start asking. Little Snake looked excited. As long as I know something, I will definitely answer. First, let me share some secrets you know about accommodation. I asked the first question. The Little Snake replied after a moment of thought. In our dream city, usually there are very few outsiders. There is only one true hotel. It was converted from the former prison where starry sky giant beasts were held. The secret to accommodation lies here. Given the limited conditions for the renovation, the hotel can accommodate up to 3,000 candidates. The rest could only stay in ghost houses outside. But bro, you have to trust me. At this, he looked at me seriously. For outsiders, staying overnight in Dream City is not a good thing. I nodded. Start gathering effective information. There is only one real hotel, and the capacity is limited. The rest could only live in other people's homes. Staying overnight is not a good thing. Dream City is really interesting. Where can you safely earn the highest reward points? I asked the second question, and it emphasizes the importance of safety. Bro, you reacted so quickly. He immediately saw through my earlier attempt to induce him. The Little Snake gave an awkward laugh. There are 2 ways to earn a large number of points. First, going out at night. Second, participate in the Dream Maker Showdown. This is what people commonly refer to as playing dirty boxing. Trust me, there's no faster way to score points than this. The first one is in life-threatening danger. The latter one can be restored at most by spending points on the half-damaged one. In contrast, it's a safe showdown between dream makers. I pondered for a moment. This should correspond to the second rule in the rules. Candidates are not allowed to attack each other, unless you are on a specific occasion. Clearly, this arena for the Dream Maker duel was a special occasion. This is a great place for me. You can win matches and earn points. Can also shock onlookers and harvest the force. Thinking of this, I grew even more excited. One last question. What happens to those who cause trouble at night? What a thing. The person who had been watching my livestream all along started to be surprised. What on earth is Sumu asking about? Did he not carefully read the rules beforehand? The above rules only apply during the day. Exactly. Isn't this just a waste of an opportunity? Naturally, I couldn't see the comments in my own livestream. Instead, while staring at the Little Snake, he was pondering the rules. Rule 1. Behaviors that violate safety and order are strictly prohibited inside Dream City. Violating this will result in severe punishment from the enforcement team. Rule 4. Nighttime is a curfew. During this period, you are not allowed to move around freely. Those who don't follow the rules will be punished. Rule 5. The above rules apply only during the day. These 3 rules have obvious conflicts. The above rules only apply during the day. And why do we say nighttime is curfew time? Those who break the rules will be punished. So I came up with a bold guess. If a student is aggressively stealing other people's points at night, so will they be punished when dawn comes? After all, they broke the first and fourth rules of the day. The evening rule is invalid. By the time of day, they would be immediately reckoned. This is the rule trap I suspect. The goal was to lure candidates into taking risks at night. I am based on this very speculation. He asked Little Snake the last question. The Little Snake was clearly stunned when he heard this. After thinking for a moment, he finally gave an answer. Well, for candidates, there are no rules at night. His answer was vague. I didn't take it too seriously. After handing me a map of Dream City, Little Snake turned and left. I was a bit surprised when I opened the map. There are 2 markers on the map. One is a place to stay. One was the location for underhanded boxing. What surprised me was, these 2 places actually overlapped. In other words, this is both a hotel. It's also a place to set up arenas and earn points. As soon as he arrived in Dream City, a series of events occurred. But what does this actually have to do with the second round of the exam? With my questions in mind, I went to the map markings. As soon as I entered, I saw several students dressed in various school uniforms sitting scattered around. It seems that some people from the advanced city have also found the hotel location. At the front desk, I immediately looked at the hotel room prices. But in the human world, 8 points per day. Deluxe single rooms include buffet with 15 credits per day. The VIP suite includes 3 luxurious meals and special hotel services. 30 points per day, only available to those with 70 points or more. Special note: all guest rooms at this hotel are for single occupancy only. After 6 p.m., multiple people were found living there, and the consequences were at your own risk. The price is outrageously expensive. Everyone in the livestream was shocked when they saw the price. The cheapest single room costs 8 credits per day. The hotel in Dream City is way too dark. Deluxe single room for 3 days 45 minutes. My child will come to the hotel later and stay at this place. After the exam, I'll make sure he doesn't break his legs. What is that? Am I the only one who cares about that last special service? Is he really decent or not? His question was soon answered. I went to the front desk. He asked the girl in charge of reception, "What special services does your VIP suite offer?" Unexpectedly, the front desk clerk just smiled and pointed to the map in my hand. "Sir, whatever you want, we have it here." It seemed he was right. The Dream Maker Arena venue was indeed here. Come to the VIP suite for 1 day first. I didn't hesitate and paid the bill. Oh my god, 30 points per day. Is he just paying like that? The people in the live stream room became restless one by one. The first place wouldn't be made like this, right? The students in the hall were also surprised. Turning around, someone was actually staying in a VIP room. Oh my god. Could he be a big shot with over 70 points? I ignored them. Follow the guidance to the VIP suite where you are. After looking around, finally, an invitation letter was found on a table. On it were 6 large characters. Dream Maker Arena Battle. The start time was 3 p.m. Welcome to us. As expected, that was indeed the case. Buying a VIP room is clearly a desperate gamble. If the buyer cannot earn enough for the excess room in a single day, that would be a huge loss for the candidates. He checked the current time. I started today's plan. First, do dream making in the room. Then, at 3 p.m., store dreams in the new field of dream making. Take him to the arena. Plan everything out. I took out the note the driver gave me when I got out and opened it. The discovery was an escort mission. The escort starting point is at a location in the city center. The destination is beyond Dream City. Time, 12 p.m. Reward, 40 points. See this number. I couldn't help but shudder in my heart. It was truly an enticing amount. There are so many that it's hard to resist. Thinking carefully, he felt there was clearly something wrong with this mission. The amount is huge. This proves that the difficulty level of the task is definitely not low. But I still choose to go. Although midnight is not a good thing for others. But for me, it couldn't be better. You can earn points by completing tasks. You can also release the underworld to harvest the force. Couldn't be better. And so, the afternoon challenge was decided. Continuing to stir things up at night. At midnight, go for the escort mission. This day was packed to the brim. Once everything was ready, I began to recreate the underworld. The turquoise stone slabs and the ancient, desolate gate of the underworld rose from the ground. Maybe it's because the same scene was created for the second time. This time, the mental energy consumed was much less. Gradually, I had built a complete ox head. Even his good brother Horseface slowly appeared with the soul-stealing chain. At the end of the Naiha Bridge, an old woman simmering soup emerged from the black mist. Next came the towering and imposing ancient capital of China, rising from the ground. This is called Fengdu, the Ghost City. It occupies a space in dream creation Xintian. By this point, I could already sense that my spiritual power was running dry. Without a hint of hesitation, I injected the yuan energy I had accumulated into the underworld. There was a buzzing sound. The underworld is enveloped in a black mist. On the once deserted road to the underworld, many ghosts with terrified expressions appeared. In the cramped gates of hell, the cries of ghosts were heard incessantly. 18 blue-faced, fanged demons lurked here, patrolling all around. One dressed in a black robe, a solemn-looking judge with a sharp stroke, sitting in the Yama Hall of Fengdu City. In his hand were the judge's pen and the book of life and death. By this point, I've already used up the 500 yuan I had saved earlier. This gives the dream a true S-level dream-making essence. I looked around at the underworld I had built, nodding in satisfaction. Even now, the underworld was not fully perfected either. However, it already possesses extremely strong defense and the ability to frighten others. In case of emergencies, I can also directly pull the underworld out of the dream-making new field. Descend on Earth. Once the enemy falls into the afterlife, that is my home turf. Tossed for a long time. It's already noon. Luxurious meals are naturally not to be missed. 30 points can't be wasted. As soon as you step outside, you see VIP suite number 5 not far away. A young man also emerged. The young man glanced at me, a bit surprised. He turned out to be not a student from a prestigious university. This is quite rare in VIP suites. As he spoke, he came closer. He began to introduce himself. The older brother at Mengta-affiliated middle school in Xinghe district, Zhangling. You really look unfamiliar. What to call it? The so-called reaching out and not hitting a smiling person. Now there is the deadly weapon of the underworld. I have no reason to hide it. Sumu is from Longting Middle School in Linhai City. You said your name is Sumu Zhangli. Hearing this name, his eyes widened. It's actually you, kid. Create S-level potential dreams. The number 1 on the heavenly ranking. I felt unfamiliar with this suddenly popping up new word. It's the standings. However, students in our Xinghe district are all accustomed to calling him Tianbao. Zhang Li said as he clicked his tongue, sizing me up and down. Lin Haiqing, I don't remember it being an economic region, right? You've really shot up to the top in one leap now. Even if their performance is average from now on. Getting into a top university is more than enough. As he spoke, he patted me on the shoulder. Are you going to eat? Do you mind walking together? While at it, they exchanged some information related to Dream City. I have exclusive information on hand. Maybe it will be useful to you. I also sized up this familiar guy. He did not refuse her invitation. He said this all the way. The top 100 students receive 5 points from the driver and a hidden mission card. When I said I earned 10 points, Zhang Li almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. I marvel at the special treatment of the number 1 place. Next, he took out a note from the escort mission. It says a 30-point reward for completing the task. I said my reward was 40. Classical Chinese. Tears streamed down the river's face. Is there any reason for it? The examiners are treating each other differently. My expression twitched. He thought to himself, this is how the first student who talked in Dream City understood. Along the way, Zhangli also shared some exclusive news with me. For example, the Dreammaker Showdown at 3 p.m. Except for candidates attending. Indigenous people of Dream City can also participate. This is not good news for us candidates. After all, the examinees are all newcomers who have only recently awakened. Candidates compete against each other. Can be considered fair competition. But once the natives of Dream City participated, it's very likely that someone will be overwhelmed by their cultivation level. Maybe the next moment you were fighting a fellow S-rank newbie. The next second, a C-rank big shot jumped out of the arena. But what are the specific rules? Zhang Li stated. We'll have to wait until the arena officially begins. When the elevator was about to reach the restaurant floor, Zhang Li leaned in again and said, I'll introduce you to a few friends in a bit. Surviving in Dream City for these 3 days. You have to communicate with the candidates, right? Of course, if you want to hide your identity, that's fine. Based on my previous observations. In the VIP restaurant we were going to, there were at least a dozen top 100 experts. They talked about you, the number 1 on the heavenly ranking. But he was very unconvinced. Hearing this, I raised my eyebrows and shook my head lightly. It doesn't have to be hidden. Just go ahead and introduce it. I just like my brother. The mentality of a strong person. If anyone dares to cause trouble later, I'll help you. We have plenty of people, so we're not afraid. The elevator slowly opened after reaching the restaurant's floor. At a glance, some students were already sitting inside. Meanwhile, the people in the restaurant also looked over. The show is about to begin, bro. Zhang Li met the gazes of the others. He waved toward a spot in the hall. Sister, look at it. This is a new friend I made. His name is Sumu. As soon as these words came out, all eyes in the room immediately focused on me alone. This name is especially meaningful for students ranked in the top 100. It's just too familiar. He was the Sumu, the number 1 on the heavenly ranking. A genius who created S-class potential dreams. I actually ran into him here. Immediately, jealousy, scrutiny, hatred, various expressions appeared on some people's faces. If it were anyone else, they'd definitely feel uneasy. I feel uncomfortable. But for someone as confident as me, this didn't feel at all. After the viewers in the livestream witnessed this scene, everyone became excited. Here it comes. The first gathering of geniuses. The people here are all geniuses from a major region like Xinghe district. Unlike Sumu, who came from the lower city district. What about the spiritual potential of an S-class? Most people here experience things that ordinary people can't compare to. I've also heard that some of them haven't awakened their dream makers. He was pulled into the starry sky dream. Get up close to the giant starry sky. The Sumu still had to go to the arena this afternoon. Do you think he wouldn't even survive this afternoon? After waving at the river, he led me to the 2 girls in the lobby to start introducing me. First, a calm and composed girl said to me, "This is my sister Zhang Hongtiao." Then he introduced a girl in red. "And this is also my sister Tang Ning. Hello both of you." I greeted them politely. The calm and composed girl also nodded politely in response. So you are Su Mu. The girl next to him, named Tang Ning, asked with a smile. Which family is it from? Su Xian's prominent family. I don't think I've ever heard of it. Or maybe your grandfather is from some prominent family. What the heck is a noble family? I grumbled inwardly. As a descendant of Yan Huang, does having 1.4 billion compatriots count at home? On the surface he smiled gently. Ordinary students have little background. When Tang Ning heard it was just an ordinary student, he looked at Zhang Ling with some confusion. After seeing the other person nod, his expression gradually turned shocked. You mean you are without the support of elders? He dreamed of an S. He didn't finish speaking. Then a boy called out from behind. So you are Su Mu. I have long admired the great name. Turning around, she saw a boy walking over with a smile on his face. I heard that an unknown top player emerged in the first round. Judging by looks alone, her reputation is well deserved. Let me introduce myself. Future is from Xinghe district. As he spoke, he made a handshake gesture toward me. Candidates greet each other. Do you have to make it so formal? I couldn't help but feel a bit wary. But he also stood up to shake hands. Su Mu is from Linhai City. He pondered devoutly for a moment. Only then did he remember what kind of place Linhai City was. He frowned slightly as he spoke. Lower urban area. Before I could reply, his face immediately changed back into a smile. You should also go to the arena team this afternoon. I really want to see this first awakening. A master capable of creating S-level dreams. Just how strong is he? At this point, Qianqing's words were clearly provocative. Did you get interested in 2 pieces of this devotion in the afternoon? I know he created a B-level potential dream. The genius of the grave of bones. I went to see the death dreams he created. Mountains of corpses and seas of blood. Super realistic. This guy must have been to the battlefield. Here it comes. I'm looking forward to it. That's what dream makers do. At the same level, no one would yield to the other. I raised my eyebrows at the devout words. But it's just what I want. It was just right to use Huaxia dream creation at the same time. Creating a genius of the same level. With this level of buzz, many viewers probably enjoy watching it. There are many viewers. The more force you gain, the more you gain. Just as he was about to smile and agree, then Qianqing added, I'll pay 30 points to fight you in 1 match. Win or lose. All 30 points are yours. At least we made friends. What do you think? As he spoke, he activated the points trading system. A message box immediately popped up on my personal panel beside me. Whether to accept a 30-point transfer from the candidate Qianqing. You get 30 points right from the start. I looked at the person in front of me, realizing something was wrong. Ahem, Zhang Li next to me also coughed at the right moment to remind her. I looked at the panel and smiled. I then modified a dataset, sent it to Qianqing. It's better to do it this way. I have more points, so I'll give you 40 points. Let's compete one more time as a friendship. Some viewers in the live stream were stunned at this point. Are these 2 dreaming foolishly? At the start of the match, they desperately gave away points. No, there was a trap. Do you still remember a rule from Dream City? It is forbidden to earn points by any illegal means. Everyone saw this comment. Suddenly, it was a sudden realization. Candidates find excuses to transfer large amounts of points to each other. Could be considered a violation. This kid is really sneaky. If anyone can't help but take on these 30, that would be considered breaking the rules and being punished. And the truth turned out just as they had guessed. Qianqing wanted to test me with the rules of Dream City, but unfortunately my understanding of the rules is just as impressive. Seeing this, he showed no sign of disappointment on his face. It was as if this tricky move was just something he did casually. Don't be afraid to play in the afternoon's arena match. First place, wishing you a pleasant meal. Qianqing said this and turned to leave. This person is really sinister. Which school? Zhang Li poked his head out and examined it carefully for a while. Couldn't recall the calendar. Tang Ning had some impression of it. Judging by the name, it should be from the Qian family. Zhang Li pondered for a moment. I had some impressions. It must be the family sheltered by that former S-rank dream maker. I have some impression of it. Speaking of which, the establishment of Dream Network is also somewhat related to the other side. However, this family declined considerably after the fall of the dream maker at SG. This kid scored so high. He must be someone the Qian family is fully cultivating. Brother, you're in luck. Tang Ning added a few words after hearing Zhang Li's words. Here's some information I've gathered. The afternoon arena match. A 30-point entry fee is required for all entries, and each person can only go up once. Points earned are tied to the number of matches played. Successfully completing the challenge guarantees a minimum reward of 30 points. Once someone knocks them off the stage, 90% of the points previously earned will go to the winner. and as VIPs after going on stage there was a chance to pick an opponent. The chosen ones cannot refuse. However, everyone entering is prohibited. Everyone else he saw was dressed in black robes. It's hard to tell who's who. This kid is probably afraid he won't be able to get you a spot when the time comes. That's why I made such a show. Hopefully, during the afternoon arena battle, you can stand up for yourself. I beat you on the very first day. He holds an absolute advantage on the standings. It also attracts even more attention from major universities. After all, Qianjia currently has no right to casually pick top universities. I have once again organized the information I obtained this time. Unable to distinguish the opponent's line. For examinees, it's simply a disaster. What if you end up facing a native beyond F rank? It's basically giving them points for free. Thank you. I am friendly to Tang Ning for being willing to share this information. You are welcome. I'm not that kind either. If I find out your strength is about the same as that Qianqing's, I guarantee that the next person to challenge you will be me. Tang Ning smiled and said, since it's 20 points higher than us, then you have to show a level 20 higher. Otherwise, I will make you take the second round of the exam lying down. I'm really so annoyed. Each round of rewards offered by the examiners was very generous. And it turned out the young lady was still holding a grudge. And so, a strange lunch began here. I have to say, the 30-point room package is quite good. Half an hour later, I returned to my room on the 17th basement floor. When checking your own attribute panel, suddenly, he realized his force value had increased significantly. A man named Wang Ri. He contributed 500 points in one go. Looks like he's another big shot. Moreover, the others were also contributing with force values above 6. The principle behind the previous increase in fractions of a fraction of the previous largest portion. Now, it's almost impossible to see. This is because the underworld dreams about it. Is it only open to dream makers of C rank or above? After thinking for a moment, I took out 200 points of elemental power to enhance my mental strength. The rest is reserved for future use. That's it. My mental strength instantly dropped from 32.5. It rose to 34.5. So what if the Dreammaker class is not compatible with the black? With the force around, am I still worried about my mental strength not rising? Just as I was preparing for the afternoon race, my first round of the exam, the underworld has already become a sensation outside. There was even a well-known writer who wrote about his experiences in the underworld, especially the feeling on the Naiha bridge. It was as if he was truly about to enter reincarnation. As soon as this article was published, this has once again added considerable buzz to the underworld. There are even more people lining up wanting to try it. At the same time, there are people staking out my live stream. I started looking forward to what the new underworld would look like. Almost at the hour, a man dressed in black led me to the 18th floor. Then he led me to a room marked with number 18. Sir, this room number is your code name for this tournament. Inside, there are a series of facilities such as fruit platters and rules you can consult. This arena challenge lasts until 5:30 p.m. Before this, you cannot leave this room early. After saying that, the man in black opened the door and led me inside. The private room is covered with transparent glass. He could clearly see the scene on the arena. He also took a look at the arena rules. It turned out to be pretty much what Tang Ning had said, so he didn't pay much attention to it. Only one more line appeared. After a match, you can choose to take a halftime break. Spend 20 points to restore mental strength. This is clearly giving every challenger a chance to win consecutive games. By now, the VIP suite was already packed with people. Looking around, everyone was dressed in black robes. A person whose face is unclear. This was probably the effect of the rings ban. Only the person holding the microphone in the middle showed the original appearance. Oh my god, that host seems to be Wang Ri, the principal of Dream Tower. Gasps of surprise erupted around the stands, including from the VIP seats. Is this arena really that prestigious? This is the president of one of the top Dream Maker academies in China. First-class Dream Maker. Hearing this, my heart skipped a beat. Isn't Wang Ri just a duster meets autumn? Another person who contributed 500 strength points to me? It turns out to be the principal of Dream Tower. Before long, Wang Ri had finished delivering his opening speech on the stage. And both promised to do so. Today's outstanding performers in the ring. This will receive special attention from Dream Tower. The candidates in the audience were instantly overwhelmed with excitement. If only he could fight a few more matches in the ring. Even if the results end up mediocre. You also have the chance to qualify for further training in the Dream Tower. Before long, someone rushed onto the arena. He expressed his willingness to be the first champion. This guy is way too reckless. He hadn't even seen the situation clearly. He charged straight ahead, but I could already tell who this person was from his voice. At noon, the one who tried to challenge his own future. Moreover, as soon as he took office, he lifted his own restrictions. Everyone could see his face. It seems he really wants to use this ring to make a splash. Sumu, come out. This statement came out. The audience was in an uproar. Oh my god. Is it really this intense? Right from the start, he challenged for the top spot on the heavenly ranking. This guy must be crazy about fame. That was the master who created S-level dreams. The viewers in the livestream room were also getting excited. It's starting, the genius who created B-level dreams. Challenge Sumu. Mars collided with Earth before anyone on the court could react. One person at the table stood up and spoke. I'm Sumu, kid is really arrogant. Daring to challenge me, the number 1 on the heavenly ranking. Chen Chang was about to say something tough. Then another man in black stood up from the other side. I am Sumu. I will accept your challenge. Then several more people stood up. They all said their name was Sumu. What on earth is going on? Sitting in VIP room 18, I was instantly stunned. What the heck is this, one of them pretending to be themselves? But he quickly guessed the answer. Granted by a restriction. It's almost impossible to tell who's who. But the VIP could only designate one person to come up. If all the masked men claim to be that person, the VIP doesn't have the right to treat this either. If I don't go out, if the devoted face the locals, wouldn't that bring great misfortune? The viewers in the livestream were already laughing heartily. No, this is hilarious. This kid was the first to stand up and draw attention. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Watching the new Sumu trees continuously appear around him. Standing on stage, future prospect was completely baffled. Cold sweat poured down his forehead. Fortunately, this awkwardness didn't last long. Through VIP seat 18. He saw me already up, although there were also restrictions in place. But after a quick glance, he still locked onto his target. I couldn't help but be surprised by his judgment. He thought, no wonder he's among the top 100 on the heavenly ranking. Maybe at noon, he had already memorized his physical features. Judgments made by height and body type. After I stepped onto the arena, Chen Qing was actually a bit nervous inside. But he had no choice but to grit his teeth and go for it. Both sides are in place. The game begins. He looked at me devoutly and snorted coldly. Whether you are Sumu or not, all of you get down. 枯骨之坟. Devoutly reaching out to the air ahead. Begin to manifest your dreams. Centered on him. Immediately, a barren grave appeared.
一具具白骨自其中破土爬出.
Dark and terrifying. It seemed the whole world was shaken by the appearance of these white bones. It has become a little different. Sumo, you don't have to think about dreams on the spot, do you? He watched as his dream completely covered the entire arena. He said devoutly and proudly. The viewers in the livestream were stunned by the skeletal territory. No wonder it's a B-grade potential dream. Just combining it with reality to summon undead is enough to dominate the top 100. This Sumu is in danger. It's too despicable. This future actually uses the storage function of dream creation Xintian. Some people who knew my family background began to feel indignant. Linhai City belongs to the lower urban area. Items like Dream Maker Xintian and other items made by dream makers are worth millions. It's simply not something an ordinary family from the lower district can afford. But it uses a series of items like Dreammaker Starfield to store dreams. But it was allowed by the unified exam. After all, the Dreammaker ultimately faces the Starry Sky Beast. Using similar props is basically a must-learn common sense. In fact, the earlier you learn it, the better. Therefore, the unified exam does not prohibit the use of such items. S-rank death dreams are certainly powerful, but it also takes time to build. Besides, after creating it, how much mental energy can it sustain? Ayu had known earlier and borrowed Sumu for Zhongli. They couldn't help but feel anxious for me. Dream-making heartfields. Huh? Who doesn't? Before long, the future was prosperous. Waves of wailing echoed from all directions around him. We died so miserably. Alas, I am unwilling to accept this. I don't want to die yet. I am the general who guards the nation. How could I willingly be captured and cast into the underworld? Immediately after, some ghostly creatures emitting a ghostly glow. Emerging from around the devout grave of bones. Pretending to be a ghost. Cold sweat broke out on the head of the journey. He immediately summoned a group of skeleton archers from underground. He wanted to launch a volley of attacks on the surrounding strange creatures. However, what he did not expect was, he actually felt fear from his group of skeletons himself. How is this possible? How could a skeleton possibly feel fear? The next moment, he felt his connection to the burning of bones severed. No matter how much they perceived, they couldn't connect. This time, Chen Chang was truly panicking. The scene was instantly shrouded in a black mist. A deadly gate closed on the arena suddenly rose from the ground. Most people in the stands were still watching from such close distance. In an instant, he felt a deadly aura inside the gate of ghost calling for him. Those lacking self-control even want to step onto the ring. Accept death calmly. This guy's dream creation is surprisingly fiery. And Tang Ning, who has the temperament of a young lady. At this moment it also became unusually quiet. His expression revealed absolute shock. He also noted Su Mu's build and height at noon. He recognized him at a glance when he went on stage. Is this the underworld with S-level dream potential? This soul-shaking sense of death. At the very least, only a level 1 dream maker could touch this field. But Su Mu was just a newly awakened F-rank rookie dream maker. Willow luck is incomplete for your creation. The underworld was shocked. Increases force by 500. Tang Ning was amazed by your creation. Force increases by 5. Devotion fears your creation. Force value, 25. With the emergence of a new version of the underworld, my force value started to soar again. Immediately after, the Bridge of Forgetfulness and Fengdu City appeared one by one. Bullhead and Horseface. The black and white impermanence force is spectacular compared to the underworld. A devout B-grade dream creation. Bone powder is simply a counterfeit product among the worst of the bad. A pile of bones is worthy of being called a god of the afterlife. I knelt down. Take me as an apprentice. Even if I get promoted to A level. You can't even create such a dream. At this moment, Qian Chengzheng stood dazed on the bluestone path, his gaze vacant. Her legs couldn't help but tremble. His dream creation was also curled up, trembling in fear. Not daring to make a move, Oxhead and Horseface emerged from the black mist holding chains. A familiar voice rang out from the stage. And he would have already died. Why stagnate? As soon as the voice was spoken, before Future could make any moves, the person in seat 666 in the audience suddenly shuddered. Chun Dahan was very familiar with this phrase. This was the phrase used when his soul was extracted before. And it was precisely because of this incident. He was punished by his own teacher. Acting as a native of Dreamtown City. Come on stage to control the score when necessary. Prevent a student from scoring too high in the arena. Other words, he might face this underworld again later. But just thinking about it made him feel a bit scared. He even wanted to contact the teacher immediately and tell him he was quitting. He couldn't even stay a minute as a proctor. Experiencing death once more. Chun Dahan felt like he was going crazy. No way. This is definitely not a dream that an F-rank can create. Devout's legs trembled. Damn, I gave up. Lost to a senior. I admit defeat too. Devoutly saying stubborn words. Even if he admitted defeat, he refused to admit it. This is the strength of a candidate. The viewers in the livestream burst out laughing. Is this brat here just to steal food and drink? He was prepared to eat an entire piece of the floor. Still break it up and eat it piece by piece. Unlike the God's Eye view in the livestream. His devout words still carried a certain credibility to the students present. After all, the intensity unleashed by this dream. Some surpass their understanding of love and dreamers. Some people have already begun to suspect that a particular examiner might have taken the exam, warming up to bully the kids. In short, very few people present thought the person on the field was Su Mu, because the death dream didn't mention the word underworld at all. No one on the field called out the name of their dream. In response to their doubts, I did not respond. The standings will be announced then. Everything is revealed naturally. As for the devotion before him, in my opinion it should be punished. Bullhead immediately stepped forward upon receiving my order. There was a loud thud. Devout Cheng's body seemed to be locked by something. His face twisted in pain as he was thrown into the air. When he landed, his eyes rolled back and he fainted. In this round, guest number 18 won. Obtained 90% of VIP number 12. Victory points totaled 27. The prize money for number 18 currently accumulates to 57 points. VIP number 18, will you continue? Wang Ri observed my current behavior. He asked with considerable approval. He was the strongest newcomer he had met since becoming president of Dream Tower University. If he could survive in the starry battlefield, in the future he will definitely become a top genius who can touch the S-rank realm. But just now, while he was observing the underworld, shortcomings were still found. It feels like their combat power isn't very strong. Or rather, when facing the starry sky beasts, will be greatly weakened. Those are the signature features of those monsters. It means the body and soul are overwhelmingly powerful. Oxhead and Horseface wanted to pull out the monster's soul. I'm afraid it might be difficult. It might also be possible now that Su Mu's level is only S-rank. Nyoto Mamian's performance is still insufficient. Also, the setting of Yamahara. It always feels like it's aimed at emotional beings. As for those starry sky beasts, they are not afraid of death at all. Now, Wang Ri only hoped that the underworld would bring him even more surprises. After I reclaimed the underworld and returned the dream-making new field, I couldn't wait to open my personal panel. At this point, Yuan Li had already reached 2,856. The amount of force gained from this battle was truly enormous. He immediately casually picked a VIP seat to continue the challenge. The person being targeted clearly leaned backward, with a look of fear. After taking the stage, he took a chance and decided to finish quickly. But as soon as his dream creation was summoned, it was swallowed by the black mist of our underworld. Seeing that he was completely outmatched, he simply jumped off the stage. VIP number 18's winning prize stacks up to 84 points. Whether to continue or not, standing on the ring, naturally he chose to seek fortune over the bold. For me now, riding the wave to gain force power is the priority. Who in the whole arena wanted to earn those 84 points? You can go on stage yourself. VIP number 18 cannot refuse. After Wang Ri's voice fell, he found that no one in the arena was moving. After witnessing the tragic state of the other top 100, they all chose to temporarily avoid the spotlight. For them, points are what matter most. It was a silence as deathly as death. The viewers in the livestream room were left speechless. Su Shen is incredible. This is basically dominating the entire arena. At this moment, Chun Dahan's face in the audience was ashen. Just now, he received a message from the old man. Let him go on stage and have a match. Damn, as expected, what was meant to happen was impossible to dodge. Immediately after, he saw another additional message. Focus all your effort on attrition. Compete with the other party in mental strength. Once the goal is achieved, they leave the battlefield. This made him suddenly realize something. After all, he was an Earth-level dream maker. He was 2 whole realms above Sumu. Although the S-class is strong in the field, but the consumption is also high. Be cautious yourself. It really might not be lost. At this moment, a single thought comes to this. He made a decision. I just need to poke them on the perimeter. Not going through that hellish gate. Perhaps Naiha Bridge still has a chance to win. Thinking of this, Chun Dahan could no longer sit still. He looked up at the stage and shouted out loud. I'll do it. Alright. Audience member 666 chose to challenge VIP number 18. Wang Ri said as he glanced around at Chun Dahan 4 and noticed something. After slightly raising his eyebrows, he put her on the table. Kid, you've come to this point. Chun Dahan shouted fiercely. His body is covered in a layer of black armor. After the battle begins, Nyoto and Mamian launched a simultaneous attack. The chains all called out to Chun Dahan. But it seemed he had anticipated this. He dodged in a few quick flashes. Several times, he pretended to be out of breath. He said he was on the verge of collapse. But just as the chains were about to touch, he managed to dodge again. They just don't fight head-on. After a fierce battle, I also realized something was wrong. He also understood his intention to wage a war of attrition. Choose fighting techniques you have learned yourself. Paired with the dream creation armor on my body, I fought against my death dream, because the only guide ahead was Oxhead and Horseface. Later stages are basically unnecessary, equivalent to maintenance. The later stages are just a waste of effort. If it weren't for my mental power approaching 35 points, this time he was already lying down. The viewers in my livestream also thought of it. This seems like a way to break the deadlock. You won't reach the gates of hell. I cannot reach the bridge of forgetfulness. Sumu's death dream didn't seem to be able to maximize its effect. Yes, this challenger should be the dream creator from Dream King. His level is clearly far more than just F rank. His spiritual power was only higher than Sumu's. If this continues, it's clear that Sumu can't hold on. Many students in the VIP seats watched this scene. His eyes lit up as well. It seems this champion isn't so invincible after all. Thinking of this, they were also a bit eager to try. Kid, you should be about to break down too. Should I give up on this dream creation? Fight me openly. Chun Dahan pondered quietly for a moment. If an ordinary student could hold out this long, he was already exhausted. He just had the potential to hold on a bit longer. As long as this sumwood is consumed, unable to control dream creations, that was when he would strike back. Kid, you finally got your dignity this time as an examiner. Hey, you almost got your way. Unfortunately, my mental power isn't calculated according to common sense. A buzzing sound. I infuse my primordial power into the sea of spirit. Mental power instantly rose to 40 points. The previous consumption was instantly replenished. The entire underworld trembled because of my enhanced spiritual power. Chun Dahan sensed something was wrong at the sudden change before him. This person's mental power is a bit too abnormal. What was even more unbelievable to him was the near-death gate that had been some distance away from him. It was actually moving toward him. Behind them, you can vaguely see the Naiha Bridge and the towering Fengdu City. This is a bad omen. Chun Dahan's sense of unease grew even stronger. Admit defeat, just admit defeat quickly. There was previously news that the old man would eventually leave the battlefield. It was obvious he had a backup plan against Sumu. He could just step down the steps himself. This guy really is a monster. Thinking this, Chun Dahan immediately shouted, "I admit defeat." Then, without looking back, he jumped off the ring. Is this just giving up? Judging by his performance, it was clear he still had some strength left. I immediately felt that this person might have something off. As his thoughts wandered, Wang Ri's voice came from beside him. VIP number 18 accumulated 101 points. Whether to continue. When the audience heard the point amount, he immediately gasped. This is equivalent to earning a perfect score in the first round in one go. If it happens like this for 3 days in a row, they can basically announce the number 1 pick early. My Zihan is still out struggling to wash dishes. 6 points, 2,000 plates. This guy made 100 in less than 2 hours. It's simply unreasonable. What everyone cannot deny is this. There was indeed a prodigy in this exam. I noticed something was off about me. He ultimately chose to step down. Wang Ri immediately shook his head in regret upon seeing this. He had just received the news. If Sumu decides to keep fighting, he will be the next to take the stage. Because the rules are not limited. Hosts are not allowed to go on stage to compete. At that point, he wouldn't give Sumu any chance. Directly seize 90% of what was gained. This is what's called score control. He is a smart child. He sighed softly, announcing my exit. Return to VIP room 18. Turn around and invite a new champion to take the stage. I also breathed a sigh of relief. Only then did the bad feeling in his heart dissipate. The prize pool now counts 101 points. I scored a total of 186 points. If he could finish the escort mission at night, my points will skyrocket to 226. He can definitely hold onto the top spot on the overall leaderboard. The force alone has yielded even greater rewards. With the enhancement of spiritual power, the area inside the dream-making new field in his mind expanded further. Another small patch of open space appeared. Can accommodate more dream-making spaces. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit infirmary around the arena, the expressionless doctor wrapped the last bandage for Chin. Your treatment is complete. Please pay the 20-point medical fee immediately. Hotels do not charge on credit. Does it have to be this dark? His devout expression gradually froze. He scored 80 points in the first round. The hotel cost 30. He pressed 30 in the ring. He now only has 20 points left. But now they're about to lose those last 20 points. If I can't complete my escort mission tonight, you can't even get any points for staying overnight or resting tomorrow. Besides, he wanted to fight through the arena. This caught the attention of other college presidents. Then you still need to prepare 30 points for the arena minimum points. In other words, he had to earn at least 60 points in the evening. But clearly, normal tasks outside. It's simply impossible to offer such a high reward. Other words, he can only earn points by burning, killing, and looting. If such behavior is not good, it's easy to leave a bad impression. It seems love can only be like this for now. Tonight I must keep a close eye on Sumu. This guy caused me such a big loss. If I don't take revenge, I'll just look too timid. After the final points payment is completed, the medical staff member came over and said to him, "Losers have the right to exit early. In other words, you can return to the hotel. Since you paid 20 points, a word of reminder. Now this time period, walking around the hotel with injuries can bring surprises." Listening devoutly, a light immediately flashed in his eyes. Leaving the hotel injured is a surprise. Is this a hidden mission reserved for the losers? He immediately became excited. It seemed he had turned misfortune into a blessing. After repeatedly expressing his thanks, he immediately left the hotel. He began wandering outside, until he passed by a dark alley beside the hotel. "Student, how did you get this injury?" A deep male voice came from behind her. The arena turned into such a devout excitement and turned around. However, what awaited him was the Dream City Law Enforcement Team. He smiled poignantly. A bad feeling surged in his heart instantly. "You broke the rules of Mengqing. The Dream City Law Enforcement Team will punish you." Finally, the first day of the arena matches concluded with Wang Ri's speech. I was also guided by the black-robed waiter. He returned to his own room. He only went out again at mealtime. She ran into Zhang Li, the socially anxious guy again. "Your performance in the ring today was just too fierce. You've turned your future into a clown." Hearing this, I smiled and brushed it off casually. "What? I haven't been to the arena match. I've heard that this is against the rules. If you're going to be there, don't drag me into it." Zhang Li was taken aback by his words. It seems he hadn't expected this. What regulations are violated? Is Dream City not allowed? Did he ever say permission? I asked with a smile. Zhang Li frowned, then suddenly understood. "That's right, bro. I've never been to a tournament or anything like that. That is, halfway through. I heard we came back to the restaurant laughing and chatting. On the way, he also showed that the family wanted to recruit me, but I politely declined them all. In the end, he expressed some regret. He then returned to a socially anxious state, laughing with me. After finding a seat and sitting down, I saw Tang Ning come up to me and sit down. Is there something wrong? Could it be that they came to recruit them? I asked. Not hire. And only tonight. It turned out to be just hiring. I asked curiously. Are you trying to hire me to fight for points? Is the transport mission for tonight? Tang Ning shook his head and explained. I have a feeling I want to get those 30 points. Maybe we'll have to go through a fierce battle. The reason for hiring you is also simple. Remember to watch me during the battle. Without involving life and death, collaborate with me for some time. If the enemy is strong, you can just run away. I reward my husband. Tang Ning said as she made a count. How about 2 million? As long as you report your account. Once the exam is over and you go out, you'll receive it. No wonder she's a little rich lady. I pondered for a long time. Still, I chose to refuse. 2 million is clearly a premium payment. At such a price, there are always some issues to pick up. No remuneration is required. I can team up with you for this transport mission. I request in the next few rounds. Both parties share information. Compared to monetary rewards, I was even more eager to get something related to exams. I know how generous the reward for first place is. 2 million is certainly not bad. But compared to the rewards in the following rounds, there was still some gap. Let alone in this dream city, riddled with traps. Information is the most important thing. To share information with such a young lady. He would never suffer a loss. As for how to tell if Tang Ning was lying, within the underworld is a divine beast, which can be distinguished from real or fake. You can hear both the truth and the lie. That was King Kitagarbi's mount. Dieting. I accept cooperation. Tang Ning wasn't shy either. After figuring it out, he snapped his fingers. Tonight, there will be a few Tang family members as my bodyguards. You have no objection. Yes, but we have to meet at the starting point of transportation. I have other things to do tonight. No problem. Happy cooperation. After Tang Ning finalized the cooperation details, then he left the table. After dinner, it was time for the curfew in Dream City. Hopefully, it meets my requirements. Nighttime is best when it attracts students to the streets in large numbers. As soon as I left the hotel, I saw a large group of students. Obviously, many people are unwilling to give up the idea of going out at night. Or rather, they want to earn a lot of points at night. Most students gathered in small groups. The night was beautiful. This is the unique nighttime landscape of Dream City. Suddenly, thick mist rose all around. It was actually the legendary overlapping dreamscape. As a top student with basic knowledge of dreams, relevant content quickly surfaced in my mind. Dream overlap usually occurs within dream battlefields, caught at the boundary between reality and dreams. It is a strange environment created by the constant battles between dreamers and starry sky beasts. And although there are dangers involved, but there are still benefits. There is a more colloquial name on the internet, secret realm. The entire Dream City was actually a secret realm. This discovery excited everyone who went out. The secret treasure is mine. Suddenly, a commotion erupted from the crowd. A group of students conjured their own weapons, rushing toward a place emitting a strange phenomenon. Soon, the sound of weapons clashing could be heard. The battle is about to break out. I grinned. Has the first night of Dream City madness begun?